Hello students, so let's start with the enemy vistas for class 12th, and this is our fifth video because the chapter is quite lengthy, so we may have 3 more videos at least. So this is our fifth video, page number 34. Okay, so now what we have read till this page number 34, here Sadao has ultimately decided that he would go ahead with the operation because a doctor, in his personality said that this man should be saved. Okay, though he is an enemy, but as a doctor, he should make his efforts very sincerely to save any patient. And that's why this Dr. Sadao, he has taken the decision of this operation. And because this is going to take place at his residence, in his home only, no other doctor, no staff nurses, so there is only Hana for his help. And Hana was sitting very close. Maybe Hana has seen operation for the first time. That's why she was choked and she vomited. She ran outside of that room and she vomited. Okay, but Sadao was not, bothered for Hana right now. Though he was little bit irritated that why I am doing this. Okay, I do not know why I have taken this decision. Why I am not able to think like other people that enemy is enemy. But still, he is there for the operation. Now, page number 34. The door opened, and there was Hana again. Now Hana had gone outside, of this room because she felt like vomiting, and after that now she's back again to help her husband, and now she is feeling normal. Okay, she's feeling better now, and she's mentally, physically prepared to help Dr. Sadao. Where's the anesthetic? She asked in a clear voice. So clear voice shows, suppose you get this line for RTC, and the question can be explain clear voice. Okay, what does it mean clear voice? Clear voice means now she is not having any fear. Okay, because earlier when she had seen this much blood, and the wound, maybe that's why maybe she got that kind of fear and she felt choked and she went out and vomited. Now she's relaxed. Now she is accepted. Now she knows what she is to do. Okay, now she knows that yes, this is operation going on, and now she is ready to help husband with the anesthesia, because earlier she had told that I have never done this, and the husband had told no worry, this is very simple. So now she came back and she says, okay, where's the anesthetic? Sadao motioned with his chin. It is as well that you came back, he said. The fellow is beginning to stir. Now because he had already started his procedures, he had already started searching for the bullet and some instrument he had put in the hole, so that this instrument should touch the shell of the bullet, and then he would be operating upon that portion only. And now he said actually he was, because of this pain he's feeling, he was maybe coming back to his consciousness. This is good that you have come this time, because maybe now we need to give him anesthesia. She had the bottle and some cotton in her hand. But how shall I do it? She asked. Simply saturate the cotton and hold it near his nostrils. Sadao replied without delaying for one moment the intricate detail of his work. When he breathes badly, move it away a little. So this is what he said. He is doing his work, and along with this, he is educating his wife also how to give anesthesia. He said just keep the cotton. Okay, first of all saturate some drops on this cotton, and then keep the cotton near the nose, and when you feel he's breathing badly, it means this medicine is going to work. Okay, so then you can just keep this cotton away from the nose. She crouched close to the sleeping face of the young American. It was a piteously thin face, she thought, and the lips were twisted. Naturally, she is now sitting nearby, and she is not doing anything else. So that's why continuously she is looking at the injured person. The man was suffering whether he knew it or not. Watching him, she wondered if the stories they heard sometimes of the sufferings of prisoners were true. They came like flickers of rumor, told by word of mouth and always contradicted. Now she's looking at this prisoner of war, and suddenly she's reminded of certain news, certain things which she might have read or she might have heard from people. Okay, though these things are always, taken as rumors, and these things are always contradicted also. And what are these things? Actually, people say that whenever, in whatever country it is, okay, it's not only in Japan, maybe in every country it is, that whenever they capture prisoners of war, the thing is that these prisoners of war are not given respect. Okay, they are sometimes maltreated. Okay, badly treated. Now she was thinking, is it this is true for Japan also? That is it this man was also badly treated in the prison house? In the newspapers, the reports were always that wherever the Japanese armies went, the people received them gladly, with cries of joy at their liberation. Now, she had read this news also, that Japanese armies was always welcomed. Okay, people were very happy wherever the Japanese army was going. So it shows that maybe this army is very good. So is it that maybe in their own country these things are not happening? Okay, these prisoners of war are not maltreated. But sometimes she remembered such men as General Takima, who at home beat his wife cruelly, though no one mentioned it now that he had fought so victorious a battle in Manchuria. If a man like that could be so cruel to a woman in his power, would he not be cruel to one like this, for instance? Though she was thinking that maybe our army is very good, our army is not like that, Japanese army is not like that. Then she thought about, she is reminded of one news which she had read about the general. Okay, and this general is so cruel that he would beat his wife. And suddenly she started thinking that the general who beats his own wife, can we expect mercy from this general for the enemy? Maybe not. She hoped anxiously that this young man had not been tortured. But suddenly she started thinking, but even then, this man should not be tortured because he's so young, hardly 25. It was at this moment that she observed deep red scars on his neck, just under the ear. Just at that time only, she saw some scar under the ear. Okay, and these scars were a proof that maybe he was beaten very badly. Okay, he was tortured. That's why the scars were there. Those scars, she murmured, lifting her eyes to Sadao. Now she wanted Sadao also to see. Okay, let's see. Even our Japanese army is doing this thing. Okay, I mean, Japanese army is not an exception. Okay, but he did not answer. But Sadao was busy in his own job of operation. So that's why he did not maybe look at it, and he did not even answer. But he did not answer. At this moment, he felt the tip of his instrument strike against something hard. Actually, what he was doing, his job was very, very crucial at this time because he had already put some instrument in the hole in the wound, and he was just trying to search for the bullet shell, and he was trying to means he wanted that this instrument should touch it so that he gets to know where it is. Okay, and right now only he felt that touch. Okay, dangerously near the kidney. And where he felt maybe this whatever shell is there, it is maybe very near to the kidney. This is what he felt when the instrument touched that shell. All thought left him. He felt only the purest pleasure. He was very happy because he was able to search for the bullet now in the body. He probed with his fingers, delicately familiar with every atom of this human body. Now he took out the instrument, and now he put the finger over there. He tried to touch now with the finger, but he very delicately he put the finger. He knew that what force he should put when he is putting his finger in the wound. His old American professor of anatomy had seen to that knowledge. Actually, he remembered the words of his professor of anatomy, okay, in America, what he had taught. Ignorance of the human body is the surgeon's cardinal sin. Cardinal is basic sin. Actually, this anatomy professor had always told his students that you should have the thorough knowledge of the body of the human being. If you are not having that much knowledge, if ignorant about the human body, then it is a sin for a surgeon, because surgeon is to know each and every atom of the body. Then only he can be called a good surgeon. He had thundered at his classes year after year to operate without as complete knowledge of the body as if you had made it. Anything less than that is a murder. This is what the professor used to say, that if you have less knowledge of the human body and even then you become a surgeon, then maybe the chances are that the patient may die in the operation theater because of your ignorance, and then it would be a murder. Okay, so he always maybe had this thing in mind, and that's why maybe he had thorough knowledge of the human body. Now when he put his finger, he knew that what tissues he should not touch, okay, and how much pressure he should put on the wound. So that's why these words were reminded. It is not quite at the kidney, my friend. Now when he put the finger and he tried to touch the bullet, and now he got to know that maybe this is not near kidney, but he's talking to himself only. Okay, it's not that he's telling these things to Hannah, because Hannah is not a doctor. Okay, it is not quite at the kidney, my friend, Sadao murmured. It was his habit to murmur to the patient when he forgot himself in an operation. Means whenever he's absorbed in his work, okay, he would forget everything. And he would forget that the patient on the operation table is unconscious. He would always be talking to the patient. Okay, this was his habit. And he would always be using the word my friend. Okay, and this time also, though this is enemy, even then he used the word my friend. My friend, he always called his patients, and so now he did, forgetting that this was his enemy. Then quickly, with the cleanest and the most precise of incisions means cut. Now when he got to know where the shell is, he made a very precise, proper cut over there, not to damage the other parts of the body or other tissues. So precise of incisions, the bullet was out, and he cut it, and then the bullet, he took it out. The man quivered but was still unconscious. Maybe it was very painful, that's why maybe even though he was in the effect of anesthesia, still maybe he could feel some pain, and that's why he quivered. Maybe, okay, he moved. Nevertheless, he muttered a few English words, and in the pain, he even muttered few words. Guts, he muttered. Joking, they got my guts. Okay, these words he said. Sadao? Hannah cried sharply. Hush, Sadao said. The man sank again into silence so profound that Sadao took up his wrist. And again, immediately the man became unconscious. And it was so sudden, suddenly he started speaking words, and then he was so sudden that he became unconscious, that Sadao had to feel his pulse, that he is alive. Okay. Hating the touch of it, yes, there was still a pulse so faint, so feeble, but enough, if he wanted the man to live, to give hope. But pulse was still there, and he knew that maybe after some time, okay, it will be okay. But certainly, I do not want this man to live, he thought. Now he had saved this man, bullet is out, still now he's thinking that maybe I don't want this man to live. Okay, here this is something which we should ponder upon. Means why he is operating upon the man, and then again he's thinking that maybe he doesn't want this man to live. There can be many answers. Maybe one answer, he's a patriot. He doesn't want enemy to live. Second answer, that he is a human being. Okay, and maybe in the name of humanity, he wants this man to die. Why? Because he knows it very well that when the man would go back to Japanese army, maybe Japanese army would give him death sentence. So there he would die. And that's why maybe he wants that it's better he dies here only. Okay, maybe these can be the reasons. Okay. No more anesthetic, he told Hannah. And now he told Hannah, now he doesn't need any anesthesia. The operation is over. He turned as swiftly as though he had never paused, and from his medicines, he chose a small vial, and from it filled a hypodermic and thrust it into the patient's left arm. So what he did, he took one injection, he filled the syringe, okay, and then he gave the injection to this man so that he gets strength. Okay, then putting down the needle, he took the man's wrist again. The pulse under his fingers fluttered once or twice and then grew stronger. I think now when we are reading this portion, in 11th class you have read one chapter, birth. Okay, there also the doctor had done the same thing with the mother. Okay, because when the baby was born, mother was still under the influence of anesthesia, and he wanted that mother should be out of danger, and she was also given this kind of injection, and within maybe seconds she was out of danger. And here also the same kind of injection is given, and the man, the pulse was now stronger. Okay, this is what he then felt after some time. This man will live in spite of all, he said to Hannah and sighed. Now, when he felt the pulse after the injection, he felt the progress, and he said, I know this man is going to live. The young man woke, so weak, and now this is the time gap. Okay, maybe after some time, after few hours, the man was, now he woke up and he opened his eyes. So weak, his blue eyes so terrified. When he perceived, when he woke, now he was terrified. Because during these hours he never knew, he didn't know where he was. And now only he saw that he was in a Japanese home. That's why he was terrified. He was so terrified that Hannah felt compelled to apologize. Why she apologized? For what? That without your permission, sir, I brought you here, we brought you here. Okay, maybe this kind of things she might have said. She herself served him, for none of the servants would enter the room. When she came in the first time, she saw him summon his small strength to be prepared for some fearful thing. Don't be afraid, she begged him softly. How come you speak English? He gasped. I was a long time in America, she replied. She saw that he wanted to reply to that, but he could not, because he was still very weak. And so she knelt and fed him gently from the porcelain spoon. He ate unwillingly, but still he ate. Now you will soon be strong, she said, not liking him and yet moved to comfort him. It's not that she was saying that, okay, very soon you will get back the strength, and maybe she was feeling good for that boy. No, she had to say this, though she was not liking this thing, because this was enemy only. She always remembered. But even then, just to comfort a patient, she said, don't worry, very soon you will get back your strength. He did not answer. When Sadao came in, the third day, now after the operation, these 2 days only Hannah was coming. Okay, the doctor came only after 3 days. Okay, on the third day, when he came after the operation, he found the young man sitting up, his face bloodless with the effort. So the chances are that maybe doctor was earlier also coming, but whatever now talk is going to be happen. Okay, it happened on third. Okay, so now this man tried to sit when he saw the doctor in the room. Lie down, Sadao cried. Do you want to die? This is the important thing. This third day, the patient tried to sit in respect of the doctor, but this doctor shouted. He said, do you want to die? Why you are trying to sit? This was a love from a doctor for the patient. Doctor doesn't want that the patient should exert himself, because it will have adverse effect on his health. Okay, though this patient is enemy only, even then, maybe right now he was a doctor only. And as a doctor, he never wanted patient to exert himself. That's why he shouted. He forced the man down gently and strongly and examined the wound. You may kill yourself if you do this sort of thing, he scolded. Though he is enemy, even then he is telling his patient, no, don't do this again. Otherwise, you will kill yourself. He wanted that the man should live. What are you? Okay. For a moment, Sadao did not answer. He finished. Sorry. What are you going to do with me? The boy muttered. Now boy asked that now operation is over. Okay, I am healing. Okay, but now what is your next step? What will you do with me? He looked just now barely 17. Are you going to hand me over? Even this patient also knows the future. For a moment, Sadao did not answer. He finished his examination and then pulled the silk quilt over the man. I do not know myself what I shall do with you, he said. I ought, of course, to give you to the police. He did not try to hide his words. Okay, so he said, yes, I think I should do this only, that I should call police and hand you over to them. You are a prisoner of war. No, do not tell me anything. Maybe right now, here maybe he saw that patient wanted to say something. He stopped him. He said, don't say anything. He put up his hand as he saw the young man was about to speak. Do not even tell me your name unless I ask it. He said, don't even tell me your name. I am not interested. Okay, If I do not ask your name, please don't tell me, because even right now, even I do not know what I will be doing with you in future. They looked at each other for a moment, and then the young man closed his eyes and turned his face to the wall. Okay, he whispered, his mouth a bitter line. He did not like it, that the way Sadao said, don't tell me your name, but he didn't say anything. Outside the door, Hannah was waiting for Sadao. He saw at once that she was in trouble. Now when he went out, he could see that maybe Hannah was troubled. Sadao, Yumi tells me the servants feel they cannot stay if we hide this man here anymore. Maybe because servants saw that the operation is over, it's already 3 days now, and now they maybe wanted that Sadao should call police and hand him over to them. And that's why only Yumi told that this is what all the servants were discussing, that now they cannot stay if this man stays over here. She tells me that they are saying that you and I were so long in America that we have forgotten to think of our country first. They think we like Americans. She said because these servants know that we both were in America, that's why they are having this doubt on our intentions. They feel that maybe we like Americans, that's why maybe we will not give him back to the police or Japanese army. It is not true, Sadao said harshly. Americans are our enemies, but I have been trained not to let a man die if I can help it. He said, no, this is not true. These Americans are enemies, and we always remember it. It's only that I'm doing the duty of a doctor. Okay, otherwise there is no other emotion for the enemy. The servants cannot understand that, she said anxiously. But she said, Sadao, servants are servants. They cannot understand this emotion. No, he agreed. He said, no, this can't be like this. Servants should understand our emotions. Neither seemed able to say more, and somehow the household dragged on. The servants grew more watchful. Their courtesy was as careful as ever, but their eyes were cold upon the pair to whom they were hired. Though the servants were still there, they were still doing the job, but now maybe they were always having doubt on this pair, doubt on the American. Okay, though they were doing the job, okay, because they were the servants, but maybe somewhere their eyes were cold, means the emotions had changed. Now they were feeling bad that why this couple is not calling the police or the Japanese army to hand over this man to them. I think we should stop here. Okay, in this video, this much, 2-3 pages we have already read. Okay, and now I want, though you may be having your exams and other things, but still take out 20 minutes, 25 minutes for this video and read along with your book. Thank you.